And then you get into the scary stuff with the eliminate.
give up already. Just
Hello, everybody! Welcome to Star Trek Payette. I am the GM Tim, your host, and with me today is our captain, Sam Devanzani, played by Sam, and our chief engineer is Gurkhan, played by Gopal. Hello, Gopal. And our chief science officer is played by Stefan. Hello, Stefan. You're playing Sofek, your chief science officer. So, tonight's episode is called Foothold. And, Sam, I think do you have a bit of a captain's log? Captain's log. I mean, you don't have to fake them like you do in some shows that we've been watching. Yeah.
No, I'm doing this not from my writing room, but from the storage closet.
Yeah.
You're keeping up. The captain's log is pretty simple. We've been ordered by Admiral Shred, who is our friendly neighborhood admiral, that incursions, attempts from subspace aliens have been tracked throughout the Shackleton Expanse. The USS Fremantle and the IKF, that's the Klingon, new version of Klingon Defense Force, Hk'cHa, reported contact with those aliens but have since gone missing. We have now been sent to investigate.
Yes, we are playing Star Trek Adventures, created by Modiphius. It is an RPG, and as you can see, we've got a chat, so if you're in the chat, come say hi, and you can help us come up with stuff in the game. So, you are indeed on your way further into the Shackleton Expanse. You've been, kind of did a quick launch from Narendra Station. Your ship has only just been repaired. Everything's working, though, so that's a nice bonus. And
we'll fix that.
If it ain't broke, we'll break it.
If it ain't broke, you'll break it. Yeah. And you come out of warp so there is nothing on long range, and you come out of warp just into their last known coordinates.
All right. Lieutenant Sofek, full sensor scan. Try to pick up the. Let's see if we can pick up the warp signatures of either ships.
Hey, Captain Zani, as you do this, you realize that Lieutenant Commander Yazikov is not at her post.
Zani Yazikov, report to the bridge.
There's no reply.
Zani to Yazikov, please respond.
No reply.
Beagle.
Yeah.
Search the ship to see where Yazikov is.
By foot?
No! Internal sensor.
Oh, yeah, right. Okay, no problem. I can totally do that.
Beagle. You get off the wrong side of bed this morning?
It's been a long day. Sorry, sir. Get right on that.
So, proceed with external sensor scans. Let's see if we can find these ships.
Sorry, I couldn't help myself. So I'm using Control and Command. Ooh, all right. So Beagle starts hacking away at the internal sensors, and Sofek, as you do, you realize that he's disabled the long range sensors while he was doing the internal sensor sweep. So he's deactivated something in such a way that you looking at it are like, I don't even know what the hell he just did. Like,
especially because they're not tied to each other.
Yeah, exactly. So he has complicated the scenario, and he looks up and, sir, I don't think she's on the ship.
Beagle somehow had the external sensor scanning the inside of the ship.
That's pretty much what he did.
Do that. She's not on the ship?
No,
sure?
Sir, no, my sensors show me that she's not on the ship.
Did anybody see her before we left space dock?
She came on with me, sir.
All right. Wow. Send 2 security teams to sweep, see if she can find her. Let's assume she's missing right now. For life signs can't be formed. Also, shields up.
Yes, sir. So shields go up, and he sends out the 2 teams to start looking. In the meantime, Sofek, you were doing...
Yeah, I'm going to do after I take the moment to fix whatever Beagle did.
Yeah, it's going to take some time. So it's either that or do what you were ordered to do. For now, you're going to have to stick with your normal... You'll be able to scan the area, probably this kind of like the sort of section of space. But your long range, you're totally down for the moment.
All right. So yeah, I'm going to scan for basically warp plasma residue, anything that would be left behind by both Federation and Klingon warp engines.
Yeah, slick. That's a good idea.
Reason science?
Reason science. Sounds great.
The ship will support.
Yeah, ship can
With
support if you want.
Sensor science.
Nice.
And
All
the
right.
difficulty would be reduced by 1, but you probably increased it by 1 with what Beagle did, right?
What? No.
Yeah.
Okay, so what's happened? You're able to kind of get a tie-in. So there's some heavy distortion in this area of space. Like the Shackleton Expanse is already pretty screwy. You guys have already experienced months now of really dodgy spatial anomalies. It's always like some serious background radiation. There's always some sort of even for Star Trek, technobabble problems. But this one seems even more so. In fact, your first kind of like sort of sweep in this close region that you're in, you detect residue subspace leak from the same kind of
Thing we ran into last episode.
when it was in your ship. Yeah.
That blew out like what, 6 decks or something?
Well, yeah, because it happened in your ship, and then the subspace rip happened in your ship, and then it expanded, and then
landed.
you moved the ship out of it, and it stayed. Like it was cool, but it was like, yeah, that did some serious damage. Yeah. So
I just signed a few letters. It was awful.
Yeah, yeah. It would have been rough. Yeah. So yeah, that's where you're at the moment, Sofek.
All right, Captain. I'm simply detecting residues of the same subspace anomaly that damaged our ship a while ago.
Is there any ship debris around it?
No. Well, actually, would you like to spend a momentum? Oh, damn it! You get a free question, don't you?
For sensors, yes, I do. Or rather, I get a free momentum to spend just on questions.
All right. So your free
2 of
momentum that you've got on questions. Is there something? Sorry. Ask me again.
So yeah, is there debris or anything that looks like extra leavings of either of the vessels that were reported missing?
Great. There is no debris of vessels. There is heavy residue of weapon fire from Klingon disruptors.
Shocking. Shocking. There was something in the Klingon shot at it. What a surprise. How Klingon of them.
Mm-hmm.
But just Klingon weapons. Nothing Federation issue?
Not in this area. You also, your second question, if I may be so bold, you do find trails, you do see 2 warp trails and a third one that is unrecognizable heading off in towards there, like towards another section of space.
I am detecting 3 warp trails, Captain, heading in the same direction.
All in the same direction. Well, in that case, set course and pursue. Maintain long-range sensor sweeps. I don't want to come in on anything unexpected. Preferably.
So Sofek, as he says that, you look down. Your subspace or your long-range sensors are completely offline.
Captain, I will begin work at fixing our long-range sensors. They appear to have been infected with a case of beagle.
What is that? What? Zanny Gurkhan.
A case of beagle. I love
Yeah.
that.
Yes, Captain.
Beagle's busted a long-range sensors. Can you fix them? Otherwise, we're gonna have a hell of a time if we get into a fight. Where we
Starship
Yes.
systems is what that would be, Gurkhan.
Yep. So I will attempt to do a repair check.
Okay, so it is difficulty 2 with 2 complications because he has created them for you.
Okay, reason engineering.
Yeah, because you're trying to
Okay.
figure out what it is, right?
So yeah, and it's something on our ship, so I have the ability. I know my ship, so I get an additional die for free.
Sure.
We have no momentum in the pool.
You have 2 momentum in the pool.
And then, sorry, what are our determinations for this adventure?
Oh, I'm so sorry. You're a prime directive.
Mm-hmm.
And hell no, not today.
Okay.
I like it.
So would this count as shipboard engineering systems?
Yes, this is shipboard engineering system.
So-
No, it's shipboard sensor systems.
So science. So it wouldn't be something I'm
Science, yeah.
focused on. So nope.
Okay.
I'm going to spend a momentum to get a 4th dice just because I
Okay.
really want to make sure this works. Because I'm going to suspect that I know
Yeah.
what Beagle has done because I'm used to seeing him do it in the holodeck and the training that I've been giving with him.
What?
Yeah, he tends to hit Control FF rather than Control F than nothing.
Beagle's been going under training, sir.
Yeah.
You've got to get him with the Control Apple Key Alt.
So 2,
Oh, wow.
3, 4,
Oh, my
5
God.
successes.
Whoa, Jesus. All right. So you have 2 more momentum in the pool, or to you, Gurkhan. You are able to figure out. I'll tell you what. If you want to spend both those momentums right now, I'll even let you just fix the problem.
Yeah, I'll basically spend it and be like, cool. I'll take one of the engineering teams and be like, here's exactly the code you have to delete that somehow was inserted.
All right.
Just find this code in the program and delete it. It's gonna.
Or you just
be
go
like-
backdoor it, reset to factory default.
Yeah.
Literally, the code is
Just
Beagle
goes
was
under a
here.
station, pushes that little button.
So as you're resetting to factory default, your team is able to figure out that it'll take X amount of time, time of plot, and Sofek, you will have long range sensors just as you end this scene. You're coming up on the end of the warp trail. It seems to be stopping. Your short range sensors are what you're kind of following, so it's been like a sort of warp check.
Yeah.
I'll order an all stop when we get to the end of the trail.
All right, so you end all stop, and you come out in a brush, like just a field of debris. You're just on the edge of a system, and it's got like an asteroid belt going around one of the planets.
So is it just it's just rock debris, or do we see ship debris? So
You're too far out at the moment.
oh, okay. So we're looking at a debris field of something.
Yeah, around a planet. It's a Jovian style planet. You see a whole bunch of moons.
So it's like Jupiter.
Yes, yeah.
Uh,
With like a Galileo style moons, the Galilean moons, I think that's what they're called, like the 4 or 5 that are close to each other that all seem
yep.
potentially habitable.
Sofek, scan for either ship.
Alright, so I'll do a brief reconfigure of the sensors to basically filter anything that's not materials and metals used in Klingon and Federation starship construction.
Okay. So you're filtering out. Sorry, you're filtering out 4, or you're filtering out those things. Like you're trying to find those things, or you're trying to eliminate those things.
Trying to find those things. So I'm basically making so I ignored like nickel iron asteroids or rocks or anything like that. I want the constructed materials that we know are made in Klingon vessels and Federation vessels.
Okay.
Uranium alloys.
So you check the Excel box sheet for the Federation Klingon. Those ones.
Reason science?
Yeah.
I think don't need to use momentum.
And then ship supports with sensor science, correct?
Yeah, if you'd like.
Reroll that.
Reroll that, yes.
Yep.
I mean, you don't have to.
Oh, but he is.
Order it so.
So 4 successes total.
Okay. Okay. So you are able to figure out that that ring that's going around. Let's say it's going around one of the moons. Is too thin to be natural and does have all the material components of an IKF ship.
Oh, just an IKF ship. Nothing Federation?
Not from material you're seeing. There's lots of like interference in this area. The planet itself is like giving heavy radiation off, as the large planets like that do. And you think maybe you can see a trail going down into the planet. It's possible the ship crashed.
I'll order a red alert.
Okay.
It looks like that ship went down. Sofa, can you scan for maybe anomalies signature? Subspace anomalies.
All right.
Gurkhan, didn't we have like a deflector thing when we did last time? We help repel it?
Yes, we could attempt to use shield modulation and some anti-Borg technology. That might prevent them from entering, but subspace is fickle and shifts as
super fickle
as quickly as we go through it.
So the part of the reason why this has been so difficult, just to give you a kind of like refresh, part of the reason why it's so difficult is because there's an almost an infinite number of subpockets of subspace. So the reason they haven't been able to like block out this one is because they don't even really know where it came from.
Gurkhan, if you could get to work on something for that,
we'll do, Captain.
Just as a precaution.
On it.
Sarah, fly us in.
Sarah's not on the bridge, is she?
Yeah, no, Sarah is 5 by 5, Captain. And Sarah will take a
quarter impulse.
Or we could, you know what? Let's actually, let's say it's Irome. So it's one of the crew people.
Vincent, fly us in. Quarter impulse. I can't remember.
It's they're just the ones on duty right now. Oops. Wrong thing is showing. Sorry, I forgot.
You could just be very dismissive. Just assign it or address it as the station. Just helm. Take us in.
Yeah. Yes, you could. All right. Let's see.
I don't even recognize the rank of the person sitting there right now.
Just where's
Tim? Stop rolling for our crew members.
Well, I mean, if it's the ship's going to support.
No, it's a con, like it's a helm roll.
I'm gonna take a con.
Yeah. So it's just like there's just so much. So as your ensign kind of like, aye, Captain, and starts to head in, everything seems fine. And then alarms go off all over the ship, like proximity alert, like you're gonna hit something. And she veers off, and you can see one of those subspace rifts appear, as if it was almost used as like an attack to try and hit the front of the ship. And the ensign actually does her job really well and veers off, but it slices out the sort of side nacelle.
Damage report.
So Gurkhan, in engineering, warp is fixable but currently down.
Yeah. I go, Captain, we have lost all warp. We will require 3 hours to repair. Maybe to get warp 1. We
Acknowledge how certain inertial dampeners just always goes offline.
We have lost a portion of the starboard nacelle.
Well, get damage crews on it. Nothing else we can do.
On it.
Helm?
You come with me.
Pay attention.
I did, sir. I'm so sorry. Yes, sir. I mean, she actually did. She veered away.
I know, I get it. Just
All right. So alarms are going. The ship is kind of doing that whole like stuff all over the place. It's like, hooray and such, but not. And you hear. You can see. Sorry, Sofek. You get a better idea that there is indeed a trail going into this moon's atmosphere. And the planet is L class, so it is breathable atmosphere, higher plant life, no noticeable animal life on your sensors. Yeah. You'd have to do a proper check to see if you can find a crashed ship.
get on it. See if you can locate any survivors, if there are any. Maybe in a tube.
Uh-ohs.
Uh-ohs?
We have someone joining us.
So I'll do a... First I'll do a sensor check for life signs on the planet.
Okay.
See if we're going to find survivors or organic matter.
All right, give me a check. Oh!
Well, all right. I'll.
Roll 20. Quit it.
I'm gonna use a determination to re-roll those two. I'm
Remember
gonna use.
earlier when I joked about the Payette not making it? I should have shot my trap.
What was that second directive? Oh,
Hell no, not today.
Hell no, not today. Yeah, we'll use that.
Oh,
There we go.
that was.
I mean, you should
Support
use
from
it
the
like
ship?
this, by the way. Ah, hell no.
Your ship don't do no help.
All
right.
I'm
Yeah.
wondering if I should use my technical expertise to get the ship to re-roll that. I don't know if I want to with our current.
I've been rolling fantastic.
Good point. Roll again. Go ball.
As he
Anything. We've
fixes
already-
his eyebrows.
We've already lost half a nacelle and our long-range sensors are busted. We came out here with a
Hey,
fully
well,
functional
it's
Formula 1.
more like 40% of a nacelle. Don't over-exaggerate.
I mean, not the part that holds all the torpedoes. I hope
All right.
goes up like a firework.
So, yeah. Wow. Okay. So you do roll just enough to see that there are life signs on the planet, Sofek.
Do we know if they're Klingon or actually I'll let the Vulcan?
First question: what kind of life signs are they?
You see a mixture of Klingon and Federation, human, Vulcan, etc.
What's the average condition of the life signs? Are there any that are fluctuating?
Yeah, some look weaker than others. Do you have any momentum?
One or two?
I used one.
So if you
We should have like 4 because I rolled 5 successes on that one roll.
that only
But
got you
you just-
2 though. So if you
But
want
you also use those two to fix something immediately.
yeah. So if you want to spend a momentum, and we'll say you guys are, I think you're down to 0 at that point. You can find out more if you wish, Sofek, without having to make another roll.
Oh, should we use our last momentum, or save it to roll more 20s?
You do get 2 questions though, so you can ask your second question.
Oh, my second one was the were any of them weak?
Oh, right, yeah. I'll give this to you. Standard with a starship crash.
Okay.
Some people are hurt. Some people are hurt worse than others. Some people are dead.
Yeah. Yazikov bursts onto the bridge at this point. Looking kind of like frantic, a little bit worse for I'm just giving you a free momentum right now. That's yours. That was that was awesome. And just as you burst on,
I sense a disturbance on my bridge.
Just as she bursts on, you hear Beagle, Captain, sensors so that Yazikov is back.
I can see that.
Excellent. He's not there. He's tweeting in.
Like, I still look where his station used to be. So I'm tweeting the stink eye.
I'd hope that he'd be at my station.
He was sent to find you.
Oh, okay. All right.
He took 2 security teams to try and find you, but you're here. Welcome.
Yes. Thank you. What happened? I look around. I assume things. Just from the last 2 seconds when I joined in, I assume things are on fire and there's sparks going on.
It's not quite that bad. There are
just smoking.
Yeah, there's a one station that's got the char marks.
Yeah.
There's an engineer working on another station because he's trying to still fix Beagle's issue. Oh, your station specifically, he's trying to repair.
He blew out the long-range sensors.
While looking for you with the internal sensors. He turned the long-range internal. It didn't work.
It overloaded the system.
Some people on the ship might have a tan suddenly due to the power of the sensors.
In case you're back, welcome. Where have you been?
I feeling very tired. I know, right? I know, Tim?
Yeah, you guys would know by now, because you know that. Yeah, you know.
Okay. I was taken. They did experiments on me.
Clacks.
The Clacks.
Well, that sounds awful. Ensign, get her a Rectigino.
It's not the answer for everything, as I'm pulling the IV tubes out of me and stuff. It's not the answer for everything.
Who does coffee?
There's a green goo that's just coming out of the IV. It's just, yeah.
She might have one of the fingers of one of the clacks still in her hand.
Oh my god, yes. She drops it with the IV.
Also medic to the bridge.
I don't know. I just faint.
All right. So a medic shows up and we'll start working on Yazikov. Sarah can be called up and replace the ensign that almost got them in a crash, but did save them.
Yes, you'll get a commendation later for saving us. Sarah, get in here.
Just went for a Rectigino. What happened?
Funny thing, Yazikov isn't drinking hers. Here you go.
Oh, thanks.
All right.
Is that green coming out of her?
She'll be fine. Also, the starboard nacelle is missing.
Cool.
Sets down the cup of coffee and walks over to the station.
Sarah is the coolest out of all of us. I'm not even gonna lie anymore. She's just so. Oh yeah, it's all good. It's all good. 5 by 5, Captain.
I'm gonna say at this point, Gurkhan walks onto the bridge, walks from the right side to the left side, and then climbs up a Jeffrey's tube and leaves. And goes towards the nacelle to repair it.
All right.
But he's muttering the entire way something in Klingon.
Yeah, and then the one engineer that's fixing Yazikov's station, he goes quicker, and then we'll keep continuing.
All right. Okay, so you have established that there was a starship battle of some kind, where the last known coordinates of the Fremantle and the Hk'cHa were. There was a race between them and another ship here, and you now see debris from the Hk'cHa in orbit around this Jovian moon. And you see evidence of a starship crash on the planet.
And we've located survivors.
And you've located survivors. So
But
that's our scenario right now. You don't have any ID on the third ship yet.
And no idea where it went.
Are you okay there, Leah?
She's just walked into a shit
Sarah starts dribbling down her shirt. She like sips and damn it.
No, I have a daily Star Trek calendar, and instead of like a human tearing them off and like throwing them out, I just leave them on my desk. So this one got stuck on my elbow.
Is that Deanna Troi?
Yeah.
Yeah, nice.
Anyway.
Well, after this mission, the rest of the crew could probably use a counselor.
Yeah. Okay. What are we doing?
So fix. Again, use short range sensors and or long range. Whatever's working, just to see if you can locate that third ship that's missing. Good. Yeskov's out, so I guess I'll organize a rescue party.
Long range comes online right now. Yazikov can be awake if you need her to be.
Yeah. She like fainted from like seeing the green goo coming out of her, but she's like come back around.
She's workable. When this is over, the medic kind of looks and goes like, "You definitely need to report to when we're not at red alert anymore. Get to sickbay."
Yes, I would also like to know what green stuff is. Usually, it just comes out of Woken.
Yeah. Right now, give her a stim and let's get them.
Yeah, because that's what you want, a stimmed up security officer in charge of photon torpedoes.
Damn right.
Quantum torpedoes.
All right, let's go, boys. Yeah. It's American say.
What is she, 6'5" as well? So
Yeah. Real big.
Best way to describe Varia is she's one of the people from American Gladiators.
Yeah.
Torpedoes don't work, I rip a console, throw it.
Great.
All right. So I need. What's the plan, Captain?
Yes, God. Now that you're jacked up, get a rescue team. We got to bring them back. We got to maintain red alert. Which do we want to fly down to this? Hold on. Hold that thought. Gurkhan, status report on the rest of the ship. How's our warp engines doing?
Fixable.
Fixable. Not quite done yet. I've done the most immediate repairs that I can do. The rest will be just labor and time for the crew.
Gurkhan, long-range sensors is back online.
Yes.
Can we go to warp if we need to?
Nope.
Okay.
No, sir.
Sofat, give me a long-range scan. See if you can find that third ship and or the anomalies. Yeshkov, arrange a rescue party for the survivors on the planet.
Sofat.
Ground hostile, sir.
Pinch. The standard.
I just got here.
If the survivors on the planet are both Klingon and Federation mixed in, they'll be fine. If you encounter hostiles, standard operating procedures apply. Do not fire unless fired upon.
Duh.
Sofek, you are looking for tetryon particles, tetryon emissions. That's what is kind of like the give or the tell for these spatial anomalies, these spatial rifts, these subspace rifts.
All right.
And
So I'll do a quick beep boop on the sensors and just.
Okay.
While you're thinking, I have a meta question.
Okay.
From our last episode.
Mm-hmm.
What were we doing with Rix? Is he in the brig still?
I don't know. What did you decide?
I think, you know what, Leah's looking at me. That was a hard question. Anyways, I'll think about that for a second.
Yeah.
I'll get back to you.
Because you'll have to decide if Rix is here or not. And if he is here, you have to decide how and why.
For those who are watching, quick recap. Rix tried to help a species escape from our ship. Damaged a lot of stuff, but because we wanted to let them get back to their pre light speed system civilization, we gave them an out, but that also kind of means we couldn't court-martial Rix.
Yeah, Rix got
officially.
Rix got a really big prime directive break.
Yeah.
Quite a big one, actually. Okay.
Okay, thank you.
All right. So, Yeah. Okay, so this is where we're at. Is you need to decide if you're going down, and if you're going down, Gopal. If I remember correctly, your ship could do a landing, right? Like your Voyager size. So you guys could land.
We could land the entire ship, and with the fact that the nacelles are pretty much integrated into the hull, it wouldn't be that rough in terms of aerodynamics. We just have to worry about our pod.
Pod?
The pod that holds all of our photon torpedoes in the back of our ship.
Yeah, you wouldn't want to land too heavily.
Slow.
Yeah, we got to do a nice landing, otherwise we can shear the back half of both nacelles off.
Or simply blow up most of the planet.
Well, yeah.
There's some quantum photons in there, isn't there?
Might get us to warp, Captain.
Sarah's like, meh.
5x5, Captain.
Whatever you need.
No.
I'm not sure if I want to land the whole ship, but
so it would be the fastest way to. Get everyone on board to do the rescue mission. It would also not have to let you lower your shields, but it would also make you pretty vulnerable
to an attack. Yes,
yeah.
I would.
The best. I was just gonna. I don't know how Trek but I mean you could launch all your shuttles and do sort of like a train.
We've done that once before.
My inclination was to send shuttles down to pick people up while the Payette remains in orbit.
Okay. All right.
As an aside, I made a decision about Rix. He got busted down to lieutenant. He was a commander, and he's no longer in charge of operations.
Okay, so he's no longer chief of ops, and he's been busted down to lieutenant.
Correct.
So a full 2 ranks down.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Pissed me off.
yeah, he did. Yeah. All right. Done. Okay.
We're sending shuttles down.
And you're sending shuttles down. Okay.
Maintain red alert.
So you got a skeleton crew then? So it would take. You got like 5. How many shuttles you got? Go, Paul. 5, 10.
We got 3 Danubes.
Okay.
And a series of we have the USS Salish, USS Algonquin, and the USS Payette, which is also the name of the Klingon ship.
No, the Hk'cHa is the
Hk'cHa.
Yeah.
And then we got rid of our fighter base, so we replaced them with Danubes. And then we have a bunch of Type 7s. We have like 6 or 7 Type 7s.
All right.
Yasikov, you can lead that. Send your team. The skeleton crew will keep on the Payette. Will be Sarah, Sofek, and Gurkhan. Sending down. Beagle will go with Yasikov. Yasikov, you can pick up your team.
I get to pick the rest of the team, hey?
Yeah.
All right. Generous.
Beagle require the experience.
Can you tell me who attacked us? Maybe. Yes.
The people who kidnapped you.
Oh, attacked. Attacked. You're thinking it's the same people.
Oh, okay. All right. Very good. We'll take Luther, Rix, and probably need Doctor and 2 border security officers.
Okay. Sofek, Stefan, would you like to play the Doctor, or do you want to play Beagle?
Ooh.
The way you've been rolling for Beagle, don't want to leave it in your hands.
I mean, do you want the Doctor to be in my hands? Like, really?
Yeah, but she's helping other crews now.
We just need medical officers. We don't need...
Yeah, true.
Sorry, we just need a medical officer. We don't need the Doctor.
All right. Yeah, I could just play medical officer.
I mean, Starship crash, probably the Doctor would go down.
Someone to patch things up. Someone to bones.
Nope. I just need to know who you want to play.
For that.
Which one? Which one do you want?
Oh, I'll be Beagle.
All right. Nicely
Can't do that. Can't do the voice
guys.
as good as you.
Mr. Nemo, the Dr. Talker with me fire.
It just triggers my. Never mind. Okay. So you start the convoy going. Sofek, as the sort of last shuttle takes off and hits the planet's atmosphere, your long-range sensors detect two Tetrion emissions coming from the system next to this one.
Oh boy, 2.
Does Sofek say that?
No. Captain, the number of Tetron readings seem to have doubled to 2.
Oh, goody. How far away are they?
Next system over. It will take some time for the shuttles to start loading up. So you could jump over, start their thing before they need you to be here when you get back.
So we are warp capable now. Low warp, I assume. Probably nothing past like 3.
Yeah.
Okay. Daddy Diastikov.
He escaped it.
We have 2 Tetrion anomalies appearing one system over. We're going to investigate, maintain. We'll be back shortly.
What are we supposed to do with the shuttle?
Without the shuttles?
No, what am I supposed to do with shuttle? I have 15 shuttle in space right now.
Look, load up the survivors, create a shield barrier, we'll be right back. Plus the Danubes have warp, you're fine.
Oh, just go.
Just go.
Just go.
I turn to Rex. I'm like, you know how to set up force fields, yes?
Yeah, I promise I'll do them right this time though.
Good. Very good. All right.
So, Sarah, just bring us within, what's the sensor range? Non-long sensors, but not short-range sensors. I forget the term.
Excuse me.
Bring us within sensor range.
Sensor range, yeah.
Yeah.
Sure thing.
Okay.
Or anything.
So, in fact, get any information you can, and maybe on a way to close those things, which might be a nice piece of info.
What?
Hey, can I with the sensors? Am I able to tell? Are they ships or are they just more subspace or slipspace ruptures?
From here, all you can tell is you can see emissions. It's Tetrion emissions.
Captain, we would need to get closer for me to get clearer readings on what these are.
Yeah.
I was worried you're going to say that. How close?
You have to get there, like into the system.
Take us to the outer edge of the system.
Sure thing.
All right.
Kind of seems like they're leading us away from the shuttle.
Keep your finger on the warp trigger to go back as fast as we can.
Roger that.
I'm on the bridge at this point. I'm like, reminder, Captain, we do not have warp.
We have warp 3. That's how we got here.
I wasn't going to tell him, but
Sarah and Yazikov are lippy tonight. Wow.
I had a day.
Wait, we ended up
It's
in the
all
next
good.
sector because we had
Let it out, baby. Let it out.
We ended up in the next system.
Makes
We
good
had to work
gaming.
there.
It's all good.
Are we in the next system or are we not, Tim?
Yeah. Well, so I thought you were warping there, right?
I
Yeah.
thought we didn't have warp.
No, we had already
Oh, okay.
established you have low warp. Yeah. Yeah.
Oof.
Yeah. Low warp. You're good. So Gurkhan, give me an
Yep.
engineering roll on the warp drive, please. Let's see how good it actually is.
Reason engineering. This is I know my ship, and we have no momentum currently, correct?
None. No. Difficulty is 2.
Okay. Warp drive technology. So this is the focus of mine.
Okay. Boom.
Can't see it. What did I roll? Oh,
You
there
got
we go.
3 successes. Yeah, so you've got 1 momentum. The ship is capable of low to medium warp. You can't go higher than warp 5 without like longer time working on it. But
Take it.
Done.
You're a miracle worker.
all right,
I try my best, Captain. I'm still wandering back and forth from the bridge and going up that one nacelle. We might have jumped to warp while I was working on the nacelle. I'm not sure.
Okay.
Probably did. Sarah, keep a coordinate a flight path directly back to our shuttles and have it set to our maximum warp. We need to go. We're going to go fast.
Nice.
Roger that.
Okay, so we're gonna, as the ship jumps out of warp, the camera pans and kind of goes down into the atmosphere, following the last shuttle. The shuttle kind of does like a flyover. You can see the USS Fremantle, which was an Excelsior class starship, and it's kind of like all that's left intact is the saucer section and the neck. The rest is spread over probably about 25 kilometers across the planet's surface, and just this nice big long scar that just cuts through all the vegetation. And you can see some figures standing on top of the saucer section coming out of hatches. You can see the neck piece has a huge hole in it, going like kind of right through the neck. So if this were the neck piece, it just punches right through it.
Riggs, what do we know of the atmosphere on this planet?
It's breathable. It is an L-class planet, which means it's heavy vegetation. It looks no animal life, all plant life.
Oh.
Sorry, I had told them that before you got here. I'm sorry. I forgot.
No, that's fine.
Yeah. Although that works, because I should have just shut the fuck up.
I was going to bring out my tricorder, be like, well, we can breathe because we're already here.
Yeah.
And just so you know...
Oh, man, you mean I didn't need the environmental suit?
I didn't know we landed.
He's totally in his suit.
Good.
Yes, that is correct, Beagle. You didn't need to put the helmet on.
Luther chuckled to himself about tribbles in jungles, and last time Hk'cHa was in one.
It's always good protocol to have your EV suit on, Beagle. Well done.
Oh, that's the nicest thing you've ever said to him.
It's just because
I'm trying
Tim's
to
not
be
playing.
Luther
No,
literally
like-
goes slack-jawed like, what just happened?
Every time, no, it's more just like every time we land on a planet, Hk'cHa's like, put on your EV suits, and everyone's like, nah, it's fine.
That's true. That is very true. And this time, Beagle had it ready to go.
Also, Hk'cHa's probably thinking she can just mute Beagle's radio.
Okay.
Do we make secrets?
I'm going to bring out a tricorder and sorry, we're on the planet. We can see the survivors.
Yeah, so you can see the survivors. They're starting to file out. There's a whole bunch of people that are injured. You can see teams that are pocketed, like as they should be. There's medics attending to people.
Rix will start providing medical assistance. He's trained.
Okay, so why don't we get some... Let's see. We're almost at break. Why don't we get some... So I'll let you decide who's going to do what. I want some medicine checks. I want some, like, conversation-style checks to see what kind of information you can gather. Because everyone's going to be panicked, right? Starfleet still, so they're not losing their mind, but it's super, like, trying to remember what happened. Maybe a check from one of the engineers that might have come down to try and tap into some of the computer systems to see if you can get like their last few minutes, like black box style stuff. Yeah.
What are you cross-trained in? Go, Paul?
Luther is straight security.
But there would
Cross-training is Beagle.
It would be Beagle, but there would be
Beagle.
also lots of engineers. Like you would have brought down a groups of everybody.
Okay.
Yeah.
You have a total, like Hk'cHa, you have a total of 3 runabouts and probably about 5 to 10 shuttles of various sizes, right? So you got lots.
Cool. Rix, I'd like you to focus on securing the area before attending to medical procedures, please. Set up
Very
those
well.
force fields.
Force fields it'll be.
Spasiba. The doctor will take care.
Shalom.
The doctor will take care of the medical emergencies.
I just can't.
I mean, it's good.
God.
It's good for an alien from another planet. You're not from Earth. How could you know?
Right? Yeah. All right. Let's
Oh
go.
man, I
surprised
love
you used a roll.
placebos.
Let's get some rolls, people. So who is doing what?
Jessica rolls to keep her shit together.
Yeah.
That's slap a bitch.
Roll to not slap a bitch.
Really has been a day, hasn't it? All right, give me a reason in command then, or presence in command, Yazikov.
Okay, I'm actually just trying to inspire everybody and get them like come and like.
Do you know what? Actually,
together.
Backhand level.
No. To be perfectly fair, a presence in command is exactly what you would roll then. So to
That's
influence.
fair.
So let's do that for Yazikov. And Beagle, you're doing engineering stuff.
That's Rick's. He's doing force fields engineering. He's
Rick's
setting
doing
up.
the force fields.
Yeah, he's trained in it. That's kind of
Force
his
fields
thing.
to like help set up the keep the the instructional integrity of the ship.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
So give me a
Wait.
daring
And to-
and engineering from Rick's, please.
To protect us in case the aliens come back.
I see. Okay.
Luther will pull security for that
Okay. So
because
Luther.
he's straight just a security officer.
Great. So Luther, give me presence and security because you're keeping watch.
And security, I'm
And-
going to use my focus assess threat.
Okay, that's perfect. And Beagle, you're doing the black box, right?
Yep, I'll go pull. I'll go pull information from the computer.
Give me control and engineering from you.
What's his stats for those?
So his they should be updated right now. In there should be a Beagle character there.
He's in here, but he doesn't have a character sheet for me at least.
Oh, okay. Hold on. That's I gotta make that. Oh yeah, there we go. There you go. You should see him now.
Ah.
Is he there now? Did it work?
Yep.
Great.
What was it? Control engineering.
Yeah. Beagle's not the best of what he does. He doesn't have any values or anything yet. We got to work on that, but I'll be building. Oh wow, he did all right. Okay, so
And then I got to do my roll still. And then I have the trait constantly watching or talent, which means
nice.
I reduce the difficulty to detect danger or
okay.
hidden threat. So
So you can roll at a 1.
I got
Wow, you rolled a 1.
2 successes.
Critical success. Nicely done. Okay. So Yazikov. Sorry, Sam.
Yeah.
Remind me on the inspire rolls. That gives a success, or does it give momentum, or how does it work?
It gives momentum to the crew to use.
How many? As many as successes as there are?
Pretty much. It's I think it's, if memory serves,
Difficulty
it's,
0
it's
test.
difficulty 0. So whatever successes you get, that's how many momentum. Obviously, up to the max.
I don't have like the talent or anything.
You're a
I was just
commander.
trying to like.
You're a commander.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Right.
You
Yeah.
automatically get that one.
So it's
not a
pulling
talent.
rank. You're kind of like just that's part
Yeah.
of what it being. That's one of the reasons why we put you as second command, right? So
Okay.
You're in charge. You get to say things.
yeah. So you inspire. You got 2 momentum. Sofek, there are 2 momentum if you want to use one. Like you can make another roll and just add 2 if you want, because you could have added another dice.
Sofek or Beagle?
Beagle, sorry, I saw Sofek, so I forgot. So
Try again, Beagle.
So Beagle could roll a second time, but just roll 1 this time, 1 dice. So change that task to 1, not 2.
Yep.
And then we'll add it to this one as well. Nope. So Beagle still only got the 1. That's fine.
Oh man.
No, that's not a bad thing. It just means it's going to take him longer than. Okay, so as the scene comes to a close, the trees start doing that, like someone's in the bushes and they're starting to swarm the section of the saucer you're in.
He's in the trees.
Yeah, it's in the trees. And that is where the commercial break happens, because that's how Star Trek does it. So you guys all prep. Luther, you're able to get the first attack as a free action, and then we will go into initiative at the start of the next round with these characters, so write that down so you don't forget it.
Yep.
Because you rolled the best to be noticing. Yazikov, you will also get to go in that round. Rix, you have managed to create the force fields you wanted. So structural integrity is sound, and we will say that it will increase the difficulty for 2 attacks before it no longer works. I think that's fair. Is that okay? All right.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
Beagle, if you keep on what you're doing, you can make another roll and probably get the black box out. If you stop and fight, you will have to start over.
All right.
Okay. That is where we'll fade to back. We will be back in 10 minutes. We're going to take our break and our intermission and go watch some YouTube and get some commercials and then come back and
From the 90s.
Yeah, right. So yeah, see you back in 10 minutes. Hey everybody, welcome back to Star Trek Payette. We are playing Star Trek Adventures by Modiphius Games. We're here on Norse Foundry Twitch, and we are currently in orbit around a planetoid moon, and we're doing a rescue mission on the USS Fremantle that has crash landed on this moon. The Payette itself has warped into the next system to investigate some tetryon emissions from an alien species that we've named the Clacks. For any Star Trek nerds like myself, they are the aliens. We've named the aliens from the Schisms episode. Sorry, Stefan, what season? Season 6, right? Or season 3?
Yeah.
Season 6?
6.
So watch Schisms, and that's the aliens. They've been kind of like the running theme in this series season, in the Payette season 3. So there's two teams. There's a team on the planet's surface that is doing a recovery right now, and there's a team on the ship doing investigations into the tetryon. And as we come back from our commercial break, we're going to jump over to the ship. And it pops out of warp into a planetless system. Sofek, your sensors are able to detect before you drop out that the system itself is a trinary system, and there is some seriously weird subspace going-ons, if you will, in this system. It looks like the 3 stars are working together in such a way that the area in between them all is really weak in subspace. It's kind of like they're creating their own sort of weakened subspace rift, if you will. And the tetryon emissions are coming close to them. Not so close as to be like, torn asunder by anything that gets close to 3 stars in orbit, but close enough that they are problematic, let's say.
Quantum torpedoes, full spread, carpet bomb the system. I'm totally joking.
As everybody
you're lucky Hk'cHa isn't here, sir.
As everyone on the bridge for a brief moment is like, wait, what?
She's not here, so she usually pushes back on these things.
Yeah.
No, totally kidding.
All right. So what is the plan?
Do we have any information on how to close these things?
On the rifts?
Yeah.
So you do know that a subspace... Oh, I had it open. Give me 1 second here.
Looking at you, Vulcan science officer. Aren't you like you're the head of our science thingy, right?
What would happen if we just flew around it really fast?
We go back in time, and I don't want to deal with that again.
There.
Notice how I said again.
Yeah. Oh, I noticed. I've already got a note written down for it. Okay. Hold on. I know it's here.
I'm sure,
so
Captain,
sorry.
there's something we can simply bombard them with, and they will close.
So the photon joke wasn't a bad idea? Is that what you're saying?
I was talking more particle effects.
Well, in that case, do the thing.
Data did it, and I'm trying to find it. I'm so sorry. It's a graviton pulse.
Pulse?
Graviton pulse, yeah. So doing did I say that? Doing a graviton pulse. So here's the issue. Doing a graviton pulse into the middle of 3 stars with your ship could overload the deflector dish very easily, or make it worse. Like you could easily just screw up and hit one of the stars and turn it into like a quasar or a pulsar, which would...
We have...
Like, not really, I know my science, but it's Star Trek, so it could. Shut up, everybody.
You said there's no planets in the system.
I mean, it's
There are no
gravity. You
planets
could
in the
cause
system.
it's gravity. You could make a black hole out of one of the stars.
I mean, exactly, right? So
We have class 1 probes, right?
we do.
Mm-hmm.
Can, instead of blowing out our deflector dish, Gurkhan, Sofek, is there any way we can modify a couple of those, maybe 3, let's say, to emit graviton pulses?
Possibly, Captain, but the results will be inconsistent due to the lack of power.
any way we can use. We sent all our shuttles down. What sort of backup power sources do we have that we can soup them up with?
We could use one of our auxiliary batteries.
Garcon, do we have any of those old fighters still left in the bay?
No, those were taken as they were experimental.
Oh.
We tested them thoroughly. You remember that?
Oh, yeah. No, it was a great time.
Yeah.
Just thought we may have kept one or two around.
I attempted. They said no.
I will tell you what.
Shucks.
I will tell you what. That's a good idea.
We do have worker bees, though.
Hold on. That's it. No, worker bees are not equipped to do this. Not even close. Yeah.
The captain had a good idea. Make it work.
Yeah. Here, hold on. So if you want to have one of the fighters left over, I will let you use. Somebody can burn off one of their determination and give me a threat.
You had us till the second half of that.
Well,
I like how we all like.
I'll give up a determination.
Okay.
And we'll let you have a threat.
I'll say that it's in parts and it will take like half an hour or an hour to assemble.
How about
Like, it's
can you do it in
mothballed.
15 minutes? You got 15 minutes? We're going to do it in 15 minutes.
I mean, it doesn't require crew, so no life support.
Fighter power?
Yeah, you can. Well, you can pilot it from here.
Oh,
You can
yeah.
pilot it remotely.
Ropes.
Yeah. He's setting up a remote
That's no
pilot.
fun.
I'm going to set up a holodeck so she can pilot it as if she's from within the ship from the holodeck.
Oh,
Oh, you're too good to me, big guy.
how very Avengers! I like it. Yeah.
So she can
Yeah.
actually feel the graviton radiation, because I know a lot of the fighter pilots fly by the seat of their pants and not by controls.
Bravo.
Well
Yeah.
done.
Yeah, that was nice. Sarah, I will give you an extra momentum to spend on your flying skills for this one because of the build that Gurkhan just came up with. Based
All right.
on Gurkhan's engineering role that he's about to make.
Yep.
I said you have a fighter. I didn't say you could do it.
I'm going to use the follow my lead trait on this so that he gets a. That's Rick's. Can't use you. He gets support, even though I have no idea what I'm doing because it was my idea.
Okay.
And he gets support from my presence and command. So I'm being the captain.
Okay. Do it.
Yeah, I can say he's giving me little tidbits on how the fighter cockpit actually would feel like.
So, Captain, how does his support work? Let's do it quick.
Oh, here, I'll just roll one die, and that's what. If it works, it works.
Okay.
There we go.
So it's going to be control and engineer. Oh yeah, I see what you're doing. Oh my god!
there we
Oh
go.
my god! It's a crit.
It's a crit.
Fair enough.
get
I don't
two.
think I'm going to need momentum because we have 2 momentum in the pool.
1.
One.
I also can't use that trait again for the rest of the scene.
Fair
That's
enough.
fair. Thanks.
I'm going to use a momentum on this because I really think it needs to work, and I am going to be doing that sweaty engineer thing where I have my shirt off as normal because I'm literally working this as hard as I can because some of my best engineers are off the ship now.
Hey,
Beagle. It does a quick flash to Beagle on the planet. He's got his shirt off again. Just looking around.
Immediately, my
There's,
mind is like, "Ow!"
Yeah.
I'm going to
Sarah's
say
cross-trained in engineering, so she could give you a hand if you want.
Oh, so
Sir.
Sarah's cross-trained in engineering and the pilot, and she's gonna help. Yeah. So Sarah, give me a control engineering before Gurkhan makes his roll. See, you guys might just like rock this. You might have just like innovated a new training system for all of Starfleet.
And I've already declared I'm using the momentum, so I'm going to keep that no matter what Sarah rolls.
Oh my god!
Yep. And then let's see what I roll.
So there's 4 successes.
And then I'm going to
We're
roll
going for
reason
max
and engineering.
momentum.
Reason and engineering gives me
Oh.
critical failure, which means that I probably am going to say that I'm
Roll it. What?
Hold on, I'm going to use my determination, think, act, then talk,
Okay.
to re-roll that, and let me see if I keep that determination. I do not, so I got
Okay.
no determination left for Gurkhan.
Okay.
And I'm going to re-roll all those dices, because you have to re-roll the entire pool.
Yeah.
And better.
Better.
1 success.
Yep.
So a combined total of 5 successes.
Combined total of 5. Okay, so you will have 2 extra momentum, and Sarah and Gurkhan, you can come up with a name of your new training simulator that you have just designed for fighter pilots, because that's cool.
What is Sarah's last name?
Band.
So it's the Band Mata training simulator. The BM.
Got a good ring to it.
And then, yeah, so that's our training simulator. And it will now be installed in every arcade on the Federation planets.
All right, so you got the Band Mata training simulator set up. The shuttle launch, or the fighter launches, and you've got it equipped as well with the graviton emitter. Likely,
Yeah, I'm going to assume that because there's nothing inside, the power supply and the graviton emitter is where the pilot seat would normally have been and everything.
Yeah, and likely this is going to blow out that engineering. Like it's gonna stop what's happening with the rifts. But it's likely going to blow out the fighter. Like this is a one-shot type thing.
Fighter's gone.
Yeah. The fighter will be gone after this. As you start flying off, Sarah, I imagine Gurkhan is probably there doing the side panel engineering to keep her going. Okay. Sofek and Zani up on the bridge. Your TAC officer in the back. Captain, we have incoming, and he just kind of hits the red.
Race! That's what you hear.
Yeah, and as he does that, he's
grab the chair thing.
Yeah, so as soon as you hear raise, he's already hit the button. The klaxon starts sounding as you say red alert shields, and a ship just unleashes on you guys. It will take a shot at you. Give me a moment, please, as I pull up a ship. And I got too many windows open now, as Tim does. Weapons and and it misses? Screw that noise. I'm using a threat and I'm rolling again. Actually, I'm using 2 threat with an automatic crit and this roll. So it's going to be 3 successes to hit you.
Yeah, so because it's a ranged attack, the difficulty is always 2.
Yeah.
We haven't done evasive maneuvers. We're just sitting in space.
Well, yeah, because you're planning, right?
Yeah.
So I've got 8 for my damage. How do I do that in here, Gurkhan?
So you just roll 8d6.
Oh, just 8d6 straight up?
Yep.
1, 2 counts for 1 and 2,
Oops,
and
ignore that, please.
And then 5, 6 counts for
1 and
1 or.
Sorry.
That's a lot of 20.
There we go.
Woo-hoo!
So those should have been separate. I'll fix that for next time. But
you can see what all the numbers are.
So we got 2, 3, 4, 5, and this is a...
No, you rolled 66, right?
Yeah, the 4s miss.
4s, 5s, both miss.
No, the 5s and
No.
6s miss.
Oh, sorry,
the
the 5s hit.
Well, so it's dampening. Is the...
Don't know what that means.
That's a new one for us.
I don't know if it's in the standard book.
Sorry, guys.
Dampening. The attack removes 1 point of the target's power for each effect rolled.
All right, so your power drops by 3.
3.
And the beam rips into you, does 5 damage altogether, which is a breach potential.
No, we have resistance 4, so it's 1 damage.
Wow! It's still like a hit though, isn't it?
I know it's because we resist 4 damage. You have to do 5 actual damage to us to breach us.
Really?
Yep.
Wow.
Because our scale is what our resistance is.
Okay.
So you do. So we take 1 point of damage to the shield plus the dampening effect. Is that how that works?
Yeah. So I've reduced our energy to 9.
And your shield is down by 1, right?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Cool. Wicked. That's awesome. So you see a really weird looking ship. It looks very insectoid, like not like bug like the Jem'Hadar, but like actually like weird angles, and it looks like it was built for space. Not anything like Star Trek normally is, where it's kind of got those fluid lines. It's very, very irregular, and it's got this horrible like purple beam that shoots out from it. That's what hit you. And now let's roll initiative. Oh, no, roll initiative. So now you guys, let's roll and see who takes initiative.
Just like a D20.
Yeah, is that right? Am I doing that right? It's been a long time since we've rolled combat.
It's usually because it usually just goes back and forth. You've done your action, we go back to us.
Right. Okay. Thanks. Okay, so now it's your turn.
Well, I would issue orders to take evasive action, so that would go to Sarah.
But
Okay.
Sarah's in the holodeck right now, flying the fighter.
So I'm going to take evasive action because I will take my turn to take over the comms.
All right.
Who's flying this thing? Oh, it's me.
What? Oh, shit.
All right.
That's
Let's do it.
yeah. So I guess I'll just fly by the seat of my pants. As I said, so I have precise evasion, which I forget what that does, but we're just going to take evasive action.
Okay.
And I would like to... I don't think it's a task. What now? 0, 1? Can't remember. 2?
Evasive action, daring and con with difficulty of 1.
There you go. Thank you.
Assisted by ship structure and con.
Not engines and con? Okay.
Well done. Thanks, Stefan.
I found the pages with the rules.
220, right?
222
Yeah, great.
is where evasive action is.
I support... Oh, I picked too many dice. Let me try that again. It does support, and we do have improved impulse, which... we reread what that does. 255.
Okay.
Because of the condition, the damage engine reduced difficulty of 1 to a minimum of 1. Oh, I don't. Okay. So, yeah, that's just what I get.
So three. Which is, and you needed a 2.
Yep.
So it is successful, which means that my difficulty to hit you has increased to 3, correct?
Yes,
Correct.
but we can spend 2 momentum to increase it to 4 because we have improved impulse drive.
And that would use your pool.
We only have 2 left? I'm good then. We're just going to make it a little harder for now.
Yeah.
You got 3 in the pool. You got 3 in the pool.
Yeah, and that'll leave us with 1.
Okay, that's good. We'll reduce it. Reduce the pool to 1, and make it.
So difficulty 4 to hit you.
Yeah.
All right. Holy crap.
And that lasts until Zanny's next turn.
Oh my God. Okay. Holy cow. That I was all right. Well, I'm going to keep going on what I was planning on doing. So it will take a second shot at you.
I'm a good pilot. I'm a good pilot.
Which is difficulty 4. And I'm going to spend 3 threat to get 4 d20s.
Yikes.
18, 15. Gee whiz. Good thing I did that. Okay, so it'll be 2 hits, which is not enough. 2 success. So it bounces off your shield, and you kind of like do another like, and it does one of those like beam right by. This time it let loose with a phaser array. Yeah. Okay. Your go.
I guess who will be doing us firing back? Who do we have manning weapons?
We had an ensign just took it over.
It's you now, Sofek.
Yeah.
Sofek, could you just hear me?
Fire all the things.
I'm saying that after our first hit, the person in the con chair fell out, so now it's just you shoot somebody shoot the fire. Complete chaos on the bridge.
So Sofek,
All of our officers are gone.
yeah, all of your officers are gone, which is, it happens, right? That's okay. So we can fix this really quick. Here's Digger, Tellurian, Beasts, Planet Killer.
What was I doing in this fighter jet?
We're trying to stop the big Tychon's Rift subspace thing that's in between the three suns that's letting these aliens into this real space.
Stefan, page 314. There's your security officer right there.
Yep.
So your control and security would be a 10 and a 2.
Alright. We got after 10 and a 2. That's the same as Sofek. Let's do this. You know what? I'll use.
This is what happens
last
when you have a
momentum.
skeleton crew.
Yeah, I'll use some momentum to try and get a hit on this.
All right, so the pool is empty. Ooh. All right, so believe it or not, you're actually going to hit because in order for me to use a second turn, a second firing, I had to lower my difficulty. If I remember that right. So that
sure,
works.
why not?
What are you firing? Phasers?
Phasers.
Okay, fair.
Yes,
Captain
you do not
didn't say
fire
hit the
guns until
torpedo.
Would the ship support with this with weapons and security?
Oh yeah, it
yeah, actually.
would.
Yeah, so one additional die.
Good, we'll leave it standard. Oh, no, never mind.
Never
It sat on a 3 and it rolled to a 16.
Yeah.
All right, so it does not. You hit it because I have to slow down in order to get you. Go ahead and roll your damage.
All right. So
What's the damage on?
I got it on the ship.
Alright.
I'm gonna roll. I think this is what I need to roll.
Should be able to click right on it, to be honest.
Yeah. There we go.
Oh, that's
Ooh.
all right.
One in effect. 1, 2. The effect is
5.
versatile.
Okay, which means
Momentum.
Momentum.
all right. So you get a momentum, right?
And then we could use that momentum to re-roll any failed dice, I believe. 2, 3, 4.
Yep. One momentum to reroll any number of
Would you
attack
like me
dice.
to?
Nice. Might as well.
Shall I use the momentum
Go for
Yeah,
it.
reroll the 4 misses.
to become another momentum and 2 more damage?
Okay.
Or 3 more damage and another momentum. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 points of damage.
Okay. All right. So you do see a breach occur. And Sofek wasn't aiming at anything specific, or neither was the unnameless attack officer. So I'm just going to roll and see what gets hit. All right, engines it is. Okay, so it slows down a bit, but it still seems to be holding on. Its crew are going to try and do quick repairs. Da 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 da. I gotta see if I can find that da 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 da, or the Klingon like dun 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 music, because it was always really good.
The Klingon heavy metal.
Yeah, right. Or like our music for the yeah. I'm getting off. Me get distracted? No, Tim never gets distracted. Okay. So I'm gonna spend another threat. Right, so frick, gee whiz, crap on a stick, man.
Gee, well occurs.
All right, spend another threat. That's better. All right, so the ship speeds up again. Looks like the damage that has been done to the engines from your attack is fixed for the, well, at least jerry-rigged for the breach for the moment. And it bears down on you again. Sarah, let's get a roll on your gravity pulse that you're about to do, or Gurkhan initiating the gravity pulse. Probably Sarah first, right?
No, she's got to get to position and then
Yeah.
I'll hit the button.
So Sarah, give me a fighter pilot roll.
Ah, yes, I have that on my sheet here. daring and command?
Yes.
Daring and con?
Daring and con.
Yeah.
Or control and con, depending on whichever one.
Mm-mm.
That was,
Daring and con. You're going into 3 suns. Daring and con.
Oh, okay.
All right.
While being fired upon in the ship you're controlling from. Most definitely daring and con. I believe you've got like 2 or 3. No, you got 1 momentum in the pool, or 2 now maybe.
2 now because we got 1 back.
You got
our
1
last,
back. Yeah.
So I'll use that momentum to buy
An extra dice?
Yeah,
nice.
And I have cautious, which allows me to re-roll that one, right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay, it's been a while. All right. So daring and con, here we go.
Okay.
Big, small numbers. Come on, let's do it.
Oh, there you go.
Oh my God! All right, so Sarah's just like, Jesus.
I got this.
Your handbrake drifts into position.
Yeah, like it's just perfect. Like it just kind of like smooths in. From the outside, it looks just as cool as the cucumber as Sarah does. Like it's just slides right in and like angles down.
In position, big guy.
It didn't even have like a fart in the wind. Like it didn't take any effort at all. Like it's just.
Did barrel rolls around the phasers?
Yeah. Oh yeah, because that would look wicked, right? Like yeah, it's in the loop and then right into position.
In my mind, it's an R-wing. So.
So it's an R-wing. Is that what you just said?
Yeah. Like from Star Wars.
Yeah.
Star Fox.
Oh, Star Fox.
Yeah. Do a barrel roll.
Yes, absolutely.
Come on, Fox!
Yeah, that's totally what it is. Okay, on the main viewer, Zanny, you see. I really like the image, but it's like smaller scale. You see the spires of something start to burst out of that subspace portal.
Oh, I don't like that.
And give me a quick. I'm not even going to make you roll. Your sensor readings in front of you, and Sofek, it is a space station size. Not massive space station, but still bigger than the ship. And if it comes through all the way, it looks like it will kind of integrate into the rift, which will give them a foothold into this area of space. Gurkhan, it is your turn.
All right, so I am going to finally activate this graviton pulse.
It's gonna take a round to charge.
Yeah. So I'm gonna. Is there anything other than I have to do than just push this button?
Not specifically, I guess, for this. No.
Okay.
You were there in case Sarah needed assist with the new program that you just designed, but Sarah rolled ridiculous. So
yeah. So I'm gonna basically transfer the control of the button to Sarah and make a wind sprint towards engineering.
Okay.
Yeah.
Guess I'm doing this now.
And I'm like, when the bar is green, press the button while running.
Oh, all right.
I like the idea of him just turning to her and going, "You got this. Push the button."
Okay, so
the ship took a hit, and I'm like, I don't know what's happening. We're gonna die. I gotta make sure our warp core doesn't go up, or we have power for what we need.
So I mean,
Yeah,
your ship's small, but it's not that small. So.
Well, I mean, I know our holodeck
Right.
is 3 decks up.
So what I'm going to say is it will take you either this entire round to get there.
Totally, that's what I'm saying.
Or I will let you get there, but you've got 2 complications.
No, I'm not that fast of an old Klingon.
That's what I mean.
Why don't they just beam you up there?
That's why you'd have 2 complications, because you're exhausted by the time you get there.
Yeah, no, I'm gonna have to take at least a few seconds of standing in the turbo lift, so I'm gonna just take my turn.
Yeah. And as soon as someone walks in, he's like,
yeah. I'm gonna furiously put my shirt on in the turbo lift.
Why don't you just beam up to the?
because it's Star Trek and you never do that logical in the middle of a fight, because Star Trek. Stop it.
I'm also
Just saying, if I was ever in the future, I would be so lazy. I'd just beam everywhere.
I'm also using this
So
opportunity
lazy.
to assess the damage between the holodeck and main engineering.
Okay.
So
All right.
of which there is none.
We're gonna flip back to the planet as the starbase kind of like desperately creeps forward, and the ship that's been attacking you places itself in between the shuttle, the fighter, and the space station.
Ship that's been attacking us.
The ship that's been attacking you places itself in between your shuttle and the space station.
Ooh. Argo?
Your go, but whoosh, down to the planet. Through the trees bursts a whole bunch of really scary-looking aliens. They look like the... I wish I could go there, but so they look like iguanas, essentially. Purple. They've got big hoods on. Their claws are just like two claws. I think they had like this.
Yeah, they're like this. Or this one. Things like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that there we go. And they've got these large guns, and the guns just kind of like rip forward, hits one of your kind of like the Fremantle crew, and just like he just melts into a pile of like liquid, like it's just goo, not disintegration, just goo. Just lets loose one of those horrible like screams, and then just drops.
Yuck.
Rex just goes, you know that weird Denobulan like lip thing? He just goes all the way down, but like upside down. So you hear the bird screech.
Yikes.
That's the sound it makes.
Oh.
All right,
Yeah,
so I get the first
hell
shot
no.
off.
Not today.
Yeah, Gurkhan, you can definitely take the first shot off.
As Luther.
Luther, sorry.
And we have 2 momentum, or a lot of momentum in the pool after
think
that
there's
roll from Varia.
4 now? That'd be 4.
Okay,
Yeah.
So I am going to improve my task roll to 3, and I have a focus literally called phaser combat. And I'm going to, and I also have cautious security, so I can reroll one of those die.
Nice. Rix, you've got a tricorder going, right?
Yes, I do.
Oh, good roll, Luther! Holy crap!
Oh,
Wow.
Luther lights up a dude.
So, Luther, I'll tell you what, just for cool effect, and because we're running short on time, I will let you just disintegrate somebody if you want to.
Yeah, I'm literally, I got my cybernetic leg locked to like a piece of the hull of the ship. Like I'm standing on the top of the ship firing down.
You created like a set. Like you just all right.
Yeah. And then I'm going to use a determination
Ooh.
to act again, and I'm going to use the value strike fast.
Does Luther have a determination? I don't think he does.
He's a character.
He's
Gurkhan burnt his determination.
You can use 2 momentum to use a swift action and go again.
Oh, sorry. Yes, I'm going to use 2 momentum then. That's what I knew it was one of them.
The difficulty just increases by 1.
Yeah, and then I'm going to fire at a second
me
target.
know to roll.
I'm going to fire at one of the nearer targets again.
All right, do it.
4.
Still equally as awesome. That is a hit. This one I do want damage rolled.
Yeah, and then, so that's my phaser. Bam.
Oh my god.
1, 2, 3, 4 in effect, which is knocked down.
Christ.
It's 5. So 5 points of damage and a knockdown, which is an injury.
All right, so one of them drops, and is still alive, but it drops. Okay.
And then, are there crew near me?
There are crew near you. Yeah, there are
Okay.
crew just letting loose everywhere.
And then on my final action, I'm going to use collaboration security on anybody near me, pointing out where the enemies are, which gives them my security level.
Okay, so the next person who rolls can roll with a 5 security. Okay. One of them shoot at you.
I retain initiative.
Jessica!
Jessica!
Yezika, like,
I've been waiting for that for like 3 episodes.
oh, fuck no. Pick one of,
She
like
pulls
a-
out a phaser cannon out of nowhere.
I do say, like, she dropped her phaser rifle to, like, do the command stuff, and she just, like, kicks it up into her hand
Oh, yeah.
and does, like, a spread.
Yes. That's awesome.
So I'm going to use the determination, oh, hell no, not today. Been stuck and tested on and
Oh, sorry.
fed
That was me.
shitty coffee.
All right, that's amazing.
So I'm gonna buy a critical.
You're also
Yeah,
steamed up.
done. So you've got a critical. So 2 successes.
Do we have any more momentum?
There are still, like, I think 4 momentum in the pool.
All right, I'll buy one.
You
So
can buy
that's
2
3.
even if you want.
So how does spread? How many people can I hit with that spread?
We're gonna say a bunch.
Okay. All right, so I will roll these 3. I'm gonna leave some just in case other people need momentum. So I've got 2 successes already, and then
So 4
Jessica
successes.
gets 4 successes. Yeah.
So that's 2 more momentum into the pool because 2 to hit. And let's say you hit 4 of them with your spread. I don't know what the
Okay.
actual is, but that's just, we'll keep it that way for simplicity's sake.
Okay.
Yeah. We can check
And
later.
then for sorry guys, for spread, is there? Do I just use the 4?
You just use your phaser type 3, I
Make their
think.
damage roll, yeah.
A normal damage roll?
Yeah, normal
Okay.
damage roll, and they get it equally.
Oh my god.
You can
So
reroll 6 of those dice.
yeah, I'm gonna do that.
Yeah.
How do I?
What does charge and accurate do? You just roll 66.
Charge
Doesn't go up that high.
Charge gives you one
Click on
option.
it.
One option in the array, like one of them is vicious, where it's every 5/6 is an extra damage. One of them is penetration, so if they have armor, you can spend the effect allows them to go through armor. There's, I think, one other one. I don't remember what it is.
Nice. Leah, if you click on the actual D20 that is the little icon. There you go. You got it figured out.
So,
Oh my god. Oh my god. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then 6, 7, 8, 9. So 9 damage. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. No, 6. 6 charged and accurate. Accurate is an extra damage, right?
Vicious is an extra damage. I forget what accurate is.
page 231, I think is where it is. Oh wait, maybe I'm wrong.
It's okay. We got lots happening, so it's all good that we have to look it up.
Accurate is if you perform the aim minor action before the attack, you can reroll any number of d20s.
Oh.
Right.
All right. Okay. So you just drop like 4 of them, just kind of like just drop. I'm not going to waste threat keeping these injured ones up because that's
Beagle,
yeah.
Beagle, stay focused on the black box.
Beagle's like this at you right now.
Focus.
Sorry.
As 6 aliens just like explode in front of him.
Yeah.
Just Luther
That
and back to back.
was
Rays of death.
awesome. Okay. So my roll is down because the next wave is still coming. Were going to shoot at you, but now they can't. So Beagle, you can take your shot.
Focus on the black box.
Yeah, so Beagle's gonna. Oh, I'm gonna get info off this black box. I'll make Commander so proud. Oh, maybe she won't even yell at me this time.
We'll see.
She's like looking at a magic 8-ball. Chances are no.
Not likely.
Not likely.
Yeah.
So control engineering.
Okay,
Still for
control
get the
engineering,
black box info.
Yeah, you've already got a success. You just need one more. All right. All right, so Beagle gets the black box out. You're going to be able to bring it back up to the ship. And the crew are loaded onto the shuttle because they've been doing that while you guys are defending, right? That was the order, I believe.
Yeah.
Was the goal.
Okay.
Rix wants to know what he finds on his tricorder.
So Rix, on your tricorder, you do see a trail of subspace going from the intruders back out of the planet, like off planet.
Commander, There's a trail of subspace going off the planet. That's where they're coming from.
So
Amazing.
no. So let me try and just give you like a little bit of a reminder. So if you semi-recall, these creatures cannot exist in real time. They can't exist in your space. So there is some other thing that is letting them do this right now.
Yeah, that's kind of where I was wanting to go next. Like, there's got to be a way. Can I scan to see if there's a way to disrupt it?
Mm-hmm.
Are these like space Githyanki?
Yeah. Ish. Yeah.
So we just need like a silver sword to cut their tether with the astral plane. It'll be fine.
I mean, yeah, essentially, yeah. The astral plane being subspace and the Githyanki being a D&D reference. Nicely crossed streams because it's actually accurate. I'm very impressed right now. So give me a
Control and science?
No, this would be a reason in science or a
That doesn't matter.
inspire. What's the Stefan? What's the one that's thinking? Insight in science.
Okay, so I'll use insight in science, and I'm going to use a determination. Oh hell, no, not today.
Yeah, you could use daring too if you wanted, but definitely insight. Because you're coming up with a weird.
Science. Determination for an auto crit. This will give me 2, and I'm going to spend a momentum to also let me roll 3 dice.
Nice. Okay. Holy crap! You guys are just
5.
like rocking it today. All right.
Tell me all your secrets, spaceman.
So there are. We're just gonna go with the homage because it's already been very established. The Gith particles are going from the clack out of the space system, out of the system towards where the ship had warped to. There is an issue. You notice that it is also coming off of Yazikov.
Hi, Commander. Just gonna.
Once.
You're kind of glowing, and not in a good way. Looks like you're attracting these people.
If you shut down the source, it is possible that they will not be able to survive in this space.
So I wanted to what on the big ship? Bless you.
Thank you.
Was
Sorry.
still working.
What's that?
What on the big ship is still working other than the force field that I got working? Is there any power whatsoever?
Yeah, you could raid some power from somewhere.
Cool. So we know that we've got force fields
what did I just
set up.
agree to?
We got power.
Photon torpedo launch.
There are no tubes.
No, what I want to do is create up a force field generator, like a super generator, blast it off the ship, and try and modulate the force fields that when I overload the whole thing, the shock wave will
Sever the connection?
Match the resonance of the connection and sever it.
That's
I basically
Gurkhan
wanted to
level.
create a Star Trek EMP bomb off of the ship.
That is Gurkhan level. You know what? Yeah, it's going to take a round to do, but yes, you can do it.
I'm on it.
Beagle, what would you like to do? No, you did your thing. Luther, you did your thing?
Well, I mean, I started off the round by firing.
Okay, I have no more turns. Everyone's had a turn down here, right? Snap up to space. The ship is going to take... My ship is going to take initiative. And I'm going to take a shot at the shuttle. I am out of momentum. No, I'm not out of threat. I have one more. I'm not going to waste it yet. Oh, come on. Oh, no, I hit. Whew, I hit.
Yeah, those are 2 hits.
Yeah. All right, I will hit the shuttle.
Is this the fighter thing? Is this the thing
Yeah,
I'm flying?
your fighter, yeah.
Rude.
Rude.
How rude.
Okay.
Sorry.
No, it's
Sorry.
okay. Don't be.
shouldn't bring
Whatever.
Jar Jar into
It's all
this.
good. I'm fine with it. I'm fine with it. I wish it wouldn't add together. It's the only thing I wish this wouldn't do, but that's okay. I know there's code for it. I just don't know what it is. Ah, come on. I didn't do super great. 1, 2, 3, 4,
5, 6.
5, 6.
That last
5,
roll
6,
I
7,
made
7,
to fly
actually.
was just to not hit things, right? Did that count as an evasive action? The roll that Sarah made that she nailed last time.
I mean, yes, I guess it
Are
did.
your players grasping at straws?
Yeah,
Maybe?
no, a little bit, but that's okay. It was
Okay.
good. So I did enough to do damage, but I didn't do enough to blow the ship up, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So your ship is definitely damaged. Flying it will have an extra difficulty, but it's still operational. I only did 6 damage. So I did 1 breach, and 1 breach on a small shuttle would be enough to like really throw off the engines.
Okay.
But it's not falling apart. It's not disintegrated. It's not completely destroyed. You will live to fight another day. And it is your turn, somebody.
How much momentum does this scene have?
I think there is 4 in the pool now, or 5. Somebody help me out.
This one, yeah, because Gurkhan had you and Gurkhan had decent rolls.
Yeah.
Do I have any guns on this? Fighter pilot?
Nope.
No.
No, we
Alright.
we stripped everything off to fit that graviton radiation pulse.
Alright, fair. I'm gonna do evasive actions then.
Okay. While trying to stay in line up with the thing, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So your evasive actions is normally a 2 difficulty. Because you're trying to stay in a specific target scene, I'm going to put it to 3.
Okay. Evasive action, flight controller attempts daring in contest with a difficulty of 1.
So 2.
So now it's 2. Okay.
Yeah. Jesus.
Just curious. And then...
Let me just read this out loud to really correct you on screen, Tim.
And it's being recorded.
Is your
I
mic
do
on,
not
Tim?
know every single
Oh my
thing
god,
in this
is
book.
my mic on?
Yes.
Yes. Oh,
Is-
don't do that, Gopal.
Is the evasive
Sorry.
maneuver, is the difficulty increased due to environmental conditions?
The difficulty is not increased due to yes, but no, because you rolled ridiculously well last time. Yeah, I'm not.
Also,
I just-
just
I have-
The only reason difficulty is increased is because you need to stay on target. So
Also
to do
damaged.
evasive actions while doing you are damaged, and I did say that was to your engine, so it is 3. I am right. So
Okay.
so because you're needing to stay on target, I'm increasing the difficulty, right?
Sure.
So-
I have pushed the limits, which decreases environmental difficulty.
Yeah,
but
that would be the solar sort of like impact. So yeah, you can
Okay.
go back down to 2. Okay,
2. Okay.
let's
Great.
get this roll done.
Now that we've negotiated the difficulty.
That's okay. That's part of the game, right?
Yeah.
Anyone watching, we're just going to be a little bit over because we really want to finish this scene. So we're going to go a little overtime today. But take your roll, Sarah.
All right. So we're gonna do evasive maneuvers, which I literally just read this. It was daring and con.
Daring and con.
There we go. And I'm buying using momentum to buy another dice. And where are we? I am focused on this.
Nice. Okay,
Nailed it.
nailed it. So now it's going to be a 3 to hit you, right? Yeah.
Yes.
All right. So you nail that. Nicely done. Your ship kind of like. What does it look like? Describe it
An
for
R-wing.
us. Just another loop.
Oh, what it does?
Yeah. What's the evasive action look
So
like?
it's like it's just kind of like swinging back and forth, and anytime anything comes around, it does like a little loop over it or back,
Nice.
just
so
like-
you're full on like it really looks
like
like
dodging.
yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
Sweet.
in the same kind of area.
Like fighter pilot style, like dips and ducks and dives and dodges.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Okay. So my turn again. They are going to try and match your flight pattern, and I think that is
Attack pattern.
yes. So I will make a daring and con. This is not going to bode well do not. They cannot maintain you're just too swoopy. And they are trying, but they are not able to stay in touch. That claw thing is coming further out, and indeed it does look like a station. It's got a bottom now. It's got like the launch bays you can see, and the rift is starting to pull the suns kind of like closer together to each other.
Is the bar filled yet?
The bar is filling up. Yeah.
Hey, go faster.
Go faster. Speaking of going faster, I want to go faster. Since that ship entered an attack pattern, I would like to enter an attack pattern.
Okay.
I would like to use a determination for the hell no, because
Yeah.
they're about to destroy our little ship, to give us an auto crit.
Hell no, not today.
Hell no, not today. And then I would like to use my daring and con. So it's a difficulty 2.
Yeah.
So I got the crit, but
Yeah.
here's to see if we can max momentum. Yeah. And it requires 1 power to do this, but we'll get attacks made with the ship, reduce the difficulty by 1.
Do it. Da 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 da. Oh my god.
And I do. So that's 4. We are in attack pattern Zanny 2, because I do a barrel roll to perfectly target our photon torpedoes.
I was going to say, let's fire torpedoes.
At the ship. I will also use
At the
direct
ship or at the starbase?
While the ship's the one attacking our probe, right?
Yeah. Okay.
Well, I was also going to use a directive for the captain,
Oh.
and I provide clear orders
Yeah.
to Sofek. You're on the launchers, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
To fire torpedoes, which means you get to do that now.
Wow.
I recommend a full spread, Captain.
Absolutely, take them. And you also, since it's the only time I can do it, you also get to use my command skill if you want for this, which is hold.
So may I take control of Sofek for 1 brief second?
Sure.
Yep.
Well, that's up to Sofek.
Yeah.
Hey, don't talk for me.
I know,
Miss
that's why I was
Captain.
asking Sofek. So, do you mind just for 1 brief second?
Yeah, go for it.
Okay, so for the briefest of moments, because of Sofek's past with his the Borg nano that had like screwed him up, there's a only people who are very close to Sofek would ever see it, and no one looking at him now notices the ever so slight smile just creep up with his eyebrow quirk from being a Vulcan as he plunges down onto the big red button. That Beagle's never allowed to press. another side swipe down to Beagle on the planet. No, somebody else got to. Is that okay, Sofek?
Yep.
All right, yeah. So Sofek, roll your attack.
And just remember that if my command of 4, you can substitute it for the discipline if it's higher than, say, your security. So you can use that instead for this 1 shot.
That's amazing.
Well, I will.
Don't mind if I do, Captain. Thank you.
We are using our quantum torpedoes.
Yes. Of course we are.
Jesus.
Oh, so, and
I
since
should have
it's a
just said
spread,
murder them. Murder them well.
Right?
Yeah. So Tim does get 3 threat.
Yep.
Woohoo! I got 4 again. I can do stuff. I can do stuff. I can do stuff.
So the difference with torpedoes is the difficulty is 3 rather than 2 always, because torpedoes actually have to travel through space.
I mean, I'm
That's
not
fine.
going to get to do
Difficulties-
stuff. I'm going to get blown out of the sky. But
Yeah.
okay.
Difficulty's back down to 2 because of our attack pattern.
I mean, it happens. Okay, give me a roll. Give me a roll. Give me
And
a
I'm
roll.
going to use determination for hell no.
Hell no, not today.
So 1. So 3 total. So 1 momentum. Oh boy. Alright, go Paul. I guess roll the quantum torpedoes.
Yes, sir.
Holy
1,
monkey.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19 damage.
Okay, so, and also, probably just going to obliterate that ship because each of those effects, because it's a spread, that's an additional hit roll of half of those dice that Gopal just rolled.
What?
So 4 more d6?
So, spread is...
I am never
The
giving
attack-
you quantum torpedoes again.
And that button got upgraded.
The attack inflicts 1 additional hit to a random system,
Oh.
each which deal half the damage of the initial hit, rounding up. Okay, so you suffer 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 more hits at 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 19, 9 damage each.
So kaboom is what
Of
you said.
dust. Yes.
So that's 5 total breaches.
What?
That's every system, isn't it?
What just happened?
That's every system but one.
Oh my god! All right, so you just unleashed on
Danny
this
was just flying by with the middle finger out the window.
Yeah, Sarah watches the ship just get obliterated in front of her and is like, oh boy, debris.
I don't think
Yeah.
there's big enough
Big
debris
ship flies
left.
by.
Oh my god. Okay.
I guess I don't need to
What do you hear,
evasive
Starbuck?
action
Nothing
anymore.
but the rain.
Holy shit. Holy cow, that's amazing. All right, so this thing just rips to pieces. There's just, it does it like really very, very Star Trek, like, and just kind of gets bigger and bigger as it kind of like just decimates the front part of the ship. And the last parts just kind of like do that extra big explosion that they always did when they used the models. I miss that.
The sparks going out to the sides.
Yeah, the
and
sparks
slowly-
going sides and out because they
Shot
slow down
wave
the shot.
flow.
Yeah. Sarah, give me a quick give me a quick piloting roll to make sure that you stay on target. Stay on target.
Stay on target.
Go, Red Leader.
We're
Knowledge
crossing all the
tribute.
streams tonight.
Was that a...
What the fuck is a knowledge tribute?
Oh, do you have your complication range set too high? You do.
Oh,
You have your complication range set at 3
What's-
rather than your starship task roll or your task roll.
sorry. What should it be at? 2?
1.
1.
So 20s are critical failures. What did you have yours set at?
3.
Yeah, so
let's
she
try
rolled
that
an
again.
18.
There you go. All right, yeah, so you stay on task. I'm not sure why it's still doing null attribute, but don't worry about it for now. I no longer have another turn because you've taken it from me. Would you like to give me another threat and do another fire? I think you can do that again.
Give you a threat so we can fire at the big ship?
Yeah, isn't that a thing? You can do that, can't you? Like retain initiative.
Yeah, do we have any momentum though left?
Oh, yes.
We can do that too.
Yes, we do.
It would be whoever.
Actually,
who
I haven't gone yet.
last.
That's just me.
So Gurkhan and
I start.
Gurkhan and Sarah, I believe, can still do the blast.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
Sarah's in
because that was
control.
only me and Sophie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it ready? I look
Uh,
down at the little button.
Yeah. It.
Ah, good. Sarah to bridge. Are we ready, boys?
Gurkhan still, you hear him coughing. Yes. He's jogging down the hallway and he's like, did somebody fire quantum torpedoes? And I was not there to witness it. I am
We fired
disappointed.
quantum torpedoes. That's why.
That's why.
Yep.
Yeah. Holy
Yes.
Jesus.
Quantum torpedoes are worse than, because photon don't have vicious, quantum do.
Yeah.
I don't think it really mattered in this case with
That
the
was-
How much
spread.
damage did that ship take?
I
Like
mean,
40?
That
I
is
did roll.
crazy.
I
Yeah,
literally
it took
rolled
40 damage.
6 double damage dice.
It was just
So-
nuts. Okay, Sarah, let's get that roll. So it was daring and engineering.
To push the button.
Well, not to press the button, to hit what you needed to hit.
Okay. All right.
Kamikaze that thing right in there.
Cool. I'm going to use my determination of hell no, not today.
Yeah. I thought you used that already, Sarah's.
I know I used Yesikov's to.
So we'll
maybe
have
it-
to double check, but I think supporting characters use the main character's determination.
Oh, okay.
I think, but that's okay. Use it, because we've already done that today. So we'll have to check for another day. Hell no, not today. So you're giving yourself a crit success.
Or I'll just use
It's okay. Do it.
cool as a cucumber.
Yeah. Sure.
To make sure that I'm focused, and I'm just gonna boop. I'll buy another D20 and get everything set correctly. Yes.
Or even
away.
you could even do a daring and con for you if you wanted to, but yeah, it's not. I think it's a difference of 1, isn't it?
Yes.
All right. So that's 4. Yeah. So
Oh,
you.
shit.
Oh, what?
Did I do it twice?
No,
That's okay. We'll focus on the first roll there. That's no big deal.
Okay.
So you just rip through it, and it's kind of like does that really cool like that pinpoint beams, and then the just comes off the front end of the ship, and as it does, the ship itself just kind of like you can see it kind of like peeling back. All the panels are ripping off the front just from the energy output that this thing is doing. And when it's done, it does kind of like one of those and it just shuts right down and just starts drifting and lilting off into space towards one of the suns. Meanwhile, the beam just penetrates into the rift, and the rift kind of goes, and the stars. You swear, Sarah, that through the last sort of sensor readings of the shuttle, that you could see the stars kind of go warp. And kind of do like a ripple around the magma or whatever, the star matter, and just from the impact of the beam, and the beam just kind of like snaps the thing shut, and it just severs a whole bunch of all those tentacles that just kind of like drift off towards the 3 different stars.
Cool.
And then you're in a random holodeck. You plop down to the ground and fall.
Yeah.
Well, I assume that worked. I get up, dust myself off.
Back on the planet, all the remaining creatures burst through the trees, and just as Yazikov and Luther kind of look at each other with that security sort of like, they all just kind of start dropping. Yeah, they just start dropping like flies, like just kind of.
Look over to Luther. Are you doing that?
I don't know. I might have some beta Z in me. And then he kind of quietly like walks towards one of the bodies and gives it the phaser push.
Yeah.
Pokes it and he's like, "We win."
As you say
Yeah,
that,
Mayo.
Yazikov drops.
Yeah, Mayo.
Luther runs over and it goes, "Emergency medic to Commander Yazikov."
The doctor's like 10 feet away.
Yeah.
Well, the doctor's working on somebody else, I'm hoping, or
Yeah.
hiding because the doctor doesn't want to fight.
Yeah.
So the doc is right there. Stefan, you want to make a roll for the Yazikov? As the doctor? I think the doctor has her own character sheet. Does he, or did we forget to make a character sheet for the doctor?
Probably.
Yes.
We did? Oh, wow. We're
Every time.
amazing. This is an every time thing, isn't it? We've done this multiple
we
times
got like
for the doctor.
3 characters that are just random letter names.
Yep,
Asex's Gashkaroof, Asango Roizu. Asango?
Okay. So Yazikov is in a coma. Stable, but in a coma. And as you finish getting everyone loaded into the shuttles take off, and you guys start meeting up with the Payette. And we're going to fade to back as the Payette loads up the shuttles and gets ready to head back to Starbase 324.
Yazikov is
Dun,
asleep.
dun, dun.
Dun, dun, dun!
Finally getting a nap.
Yeah, so that is where we'll end tonight.
Right.
All right. So we'll be back in 2 weeks. We have a guest writer-director with Gopal. You're going to be doing next episode.
Mm-hmm. I'm going to point out that when you guys get back to the station, there's a lot of disheveled Federation crew due to a number of escape pods having been recovered.
Mystery.
And not from the Fremantle.
Nope.
Yeah.
Another ship entirely.
There's been ships
Ooh.
sent to scuttle the Fremantle and to make sure that there's no evidence that they were ever there, as is protocol, just in case something else comes along. They're going to want to debrief you guys about what you saw and what you did and what you think is going on. Any thoughts quickly before we end?
That was fun. We actually, I think it was a good split of a crew.
I think so too, but I meant, do you have any ideas on what you think is going on? What they're trying to do?
My
Invasion.
gig cord got cut.
I think the Romulans did something in their space, and that's why they're coming through.
Yep.
Well, the Romulans have to have something to do with
It's
it.
always a Romulan plot. Come on.
Yep.
Somewhere in Romulan space, Mevin is like, oh, come on, man.
Mevin's
He's in
literally
like a spa. He's
Yeah.
just like having a spa day.
Her eyes
Mev-
open really big. Like, oh, seriously?
Really, guys? God damn it.
she's literally in Vulcan disguise on. They're just trying to have a vacation.
Yeah.
I just want to relax for 5 minutes.
I'm so tired.
Okay, everyone, say good night. Thanks for joining us. Thanks for watching. We'll be back in 2 weeks with our guest director and writer, Gopal. Be well. Live long and prosper, people.
Good night.
Good night.